Welcome to Easy Math TV. We're continuing our discussion of grouped frequency data tables. This time we're going to actually make a histogram out of it in Excel. And so if you're just joining, you may want to go to the video just before this. It's in the same playlist, but the video just before it, that where we actually created a grouped frequency data table. So what you see here in columns E, F, and G, we need to have that all ready to go. So if you don't already have that, then look at the previous video for how to create a grouped frequency data table from your data. So it does imply that you have started out with data that justifies using a grouped frequency data table instead of just an ungrouped frequency data table. So, binning your data into categories. So, make sure that your data actually supports that decision. So, so we have our data table here. We just want to make a histogram out of it, okay? All right, so what I'm going to do, just to make things a little bit easier in terms of selecting our data for the chart, just to the left of the frequency column here, I'm going to insert another column. So I'm at the home menu in Excel. There's different tabs at the top. So make sure you're at the home tab, and underneath where you can do a bunch of inserting of cells and stuff, there's insert, there's delete, and there's format. We're going to insert a column to the left. It always inserts to the left, but we're going to format it the same as the column on the right because I don't want all those yellow highlighting there. So, okay, it's just a plain column now. So I'm going to put my labels. These are the labels that are going to go underneath each column in our histogram. And the labels are always in a grouped frequency data table. We always start with the left value, which is a 64 in this case. So you're going to type this in for your own data based on what the start of the bin is. So I'm just typing it the way I see it here. But you always start with a square bracket on the left and type the number that you see in cell E2. Okay, whatever number you see in cell E2, you're going to type that in and then put a comma and the next number down. So the start of the next bin is a 68. So we're going to type that and then use a parenthesis there. So a curved bracket on the right, a square bracket on the left, because we want to include 64, but we do not want to include 68 in our first bin, okay? So it is called a left closed interval. All of our bins are left closed intervals. The value on the right, which is the value of the starting value for the next bin, is not included here, but it is included in the next one. So the next one is going to be left square bracket and a 68 now, and then comma 72. So you can see we just keep moving down the list. And each bin includes the number that you see in that row. So the 72 is in row 4, and I'm in F4. So starting with 72, going up to 76, but not including 76. So I'm putting a parenthesis there. And now I need another bracket. Next is 76 comma 80 and parenthesis. So as you can see how we're going, just keep going like that until you get to that last bin, okay? Just keep typing the left value and then comma the right value and parenthesis. And so like I said, this will work. In the previous video, I mentioned that this method will work regardless of whether you have discrete data or continuous data. So So I don't have to type one down here in row 10 because there are no frequencies there. We're not including row 10. So because there's nothing in that row. All right. So I have my labels and I have my frequencies all calculated. So I'm just going to select starting from F1 going all the way down to G9. I'm just selecting that. And I'm going to go to the insert tab and I'm going to look at the recommended charts first because sometimes we see the one that we want right there. And the one that looks like a vertical bar graph, that's the one we want. So there's only one problem. It almost looks like a histogram, but there's spaces in between the rectangles. So we need to right click or um, you have to, or you go to your editing, you edit your chart and you go to format data series. So we need to go to the part of the editing of the chart that allows us to format the data series. All I did was right click on the columns here and select format data series. And you can see there are series options, and one of them is this thing called gap width. And there's a slider here. So I'm going to literally slide that all the way down to 0%. So we want no gap, 0 gap between the rectangles. And that did it. So now if I go back, I can just go back to my plot here, and I want to make this histogram. So it's a frequency histogram, and just change the title there. But other than that, that's it. That's your histogram. So the histogram should look like kind of a solid mass of squared off rectangles. And it shows, what does it show? It shows where the large portion of our data is. We can see that there's a much taller rectangle here on the bin that starts with 72 and goes up to 75, not including 76. So 72 to 75. All those grades between 72 and 75, there's 17 of them out of 60. So there seems to have been quite a large number. And it does taper down on both sides, so that's a good thing. I would not have been happy if I had seen taller rectangles on the left and shorter rectangles on the right. We do expect it to sort of taper off, though. We don't expect to see a lot of scores in the 90s, but there should be some. And then as you go to the left on this, the numbers start to increase until we get the largest number between 72 and 75. So that's at least passing. So there's a lot that we can just take away from this graph. We can mention the fact that there are certain percentages of our numbers lie down here below 68. There's 6 out of 60. And when you divide that, like when you actually do a calculation, so I can go over here and I can say, okay, what percentage of students got below 68? So that would be the 6 here. So 6 divided by 60 times 100%. So that's 10%. So 10% of the students got below 68, but at least it wasn't too far below 68. I mean, that's a good thing. The lowest grade was a 64. But maybe I should reach out to those 6 students and see if they need extra help, what went wrong. And then, or maybe I should reach out to all the students that got below 72. So if I want to know what percentage of students got below 72, I would take the 6 and the 8, which is 14, and divide that by 60 and times by 100. So about 23%. So less than a fourth, but almost one-fourth, almost 1 out of every 4 students um, scored below a 72 on this test. So, that's not good. I would hope to see a much higher number of students that are a little above that. Um, anyway, so there's lots of different questions that you can answer directly from a histogram like this, um, about your data, and it definitely gives you a way of visualizing how your data is spread out and where the different clusters of data are and things like that. Um, Very helpful. And if I needed this histogram in a report, um, Excel gives you the ability to actually save your graph as a picture. So if you just are anywhere inside this frame, you can right click and go to save as picture and literally just save your histogram as an image file. Okay? Like, subscribe, comment down below. Um, you know, uh, if you want to share these videos with other people that you think might find them helpful, or other people that are taking statistics maybe for the first time, have never actually made graphs or done anything in Excel before, um, point them in this direction, because there will be more videos popping up throughout the next 8 weeks, as I'm teaching this class again. Um, so you'll see more videos popping up. All right. Again, enjoy, and I'll see you in the next video.